Last week's episode is behind us, and I have picked up my cold, dead heart from the corner, and we can move on with the show. Hello everybody, I am your host, Secret Agent P, and we are back to talk about episode 4 of The Last of Us. So predictably, this episode is about Joel and Ellie's adventure through Pittsburg. Or I should say Kansas City, because we're in Kansas City this time instead of Pittsburgh. But the same stuff is happening. Now, we didn't get through all of that plot line because a lot does happen in the game. But we got through some of it today, and I imagine the rest of it will be in next week's episode. So last week's episode really showed us what can happen when you deviate from the source material, but in a good way. How you can properly adapt something. After last week's episode, I don't know what to expect anymore from Craig and Neil, but I am here for it. So when this episode started with Joel siphoning gas, I was like, okay, well this isn't in the game, so let's see where this goes. And it's basically just bonding moments between Joel and Ellie, which is what we need right now. We also get the introduction of the joke book. I didn't expect we would get it. So this episode's really about showing Ellie that people are monsters and you can't trust anybody. In which there's something very important she learns about Joel, and that the people that are attacking them, he's kind of done the same thing to other people. Showing Ellie that it's not just black and white. Which is why when she sees someone asking for help, Joel already knows that this is a trick. And I was really curious to see how they would do the preceding gunfight, because I'm not expecting a lot of action in this show. So instead of waves of enemies coming after them as soon as they crash, it's only like 2 or 3. And Joel's not paying as much attention as he should be, so someone gets the drop on him. And as he's laying there about to die, and it's here we get the moment where Ellie first shoots someone. It's a bit different, and in my opinion, it's less immediately impactful. You know what? This is the first change I don't agree with. It was done way better in the game, and I'm actually a bit disappointed about how it came out here. The rest of the episode sees Joel and Ellie sneaking through the buildings and having moments. And it's here where Joel becomes accepting and gives her a gun. And she gets excited because he's trusting her. And it's honestly a good moment. It really is. I did like that. But for me, my favorite moment was at the very end, when they found shelter and they put some cushions together to make some makeshift beds, and they're about to go to sleep. And they just start talking and joking, and then they laugh. They just laugh out loud, and they're actually enjoying each other. I really love that moment, and I'm not sure we're going to get much more of them. Let's talk about the B plot of the episode. So in Kansas City, Fedra doesn't exist anymore. The entire quarantine zone was taken down by rebels. You know, something the Fireflies have been trying to do. We don't really know if this is how it happened in the game, but this is stuff the show can expand upon. And expanding upon it is because it's adding more backstory to Henry and Sam, which we do see at the very end of the episode when they wake up Joel and Ellie and then the camera fades to black. So the rebels are interesting because they're less brute force mean to be mean, and they're actually like people? I know, weird concept. We're getting to see their side of the story, and they have a leader named Kathleen. We don't know much about Kathleen except her brother died in Fedra's custody, and she's looking for Henry for some reason. It seems like Henry was a traitor and betrayed everyone. I'm sure we will find out next week. So far, Kathleen's rubbing me the wrong way, but I feel like she's supposed to. She is the antagonist right now. We also get shown something very interesting. So in the basement of a building, there's this sunken crater of concrete. And the look on Kathleen and Perry's faces show them very worried, but we don't know why. And then you hear noise and pieces of the concrete move. So it seems like the roots of the fungus have reached Kansas City and they're under this building. And they decide to not address it right now because they're looking for Henry, Joel, and company. Probably gonna come back and bite them, but we'll see. And that's pretty much it for the episode. Unlike all the episodes before this one feels more like a setup episode for what's coming next. This one showed us a lot of Joel and Ellie bonding, which is of course very important. Outside of that, it's just setting up for the next episode. While I really enjoyed this episode, it kind of fell flat in comparison to the episodes before it. That's fine, not every episode has to be a banger. I am really looking forward to next week's episode, seeing Henry and Sam, and from the previews alone, it's gonna be action-packed. So if you've been wanting more action and guns blazing, next week seems to be the payoff for that. That's all, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see in here, please like the video and leave a comment. It helps feed the algorithm gods. And if you want to see more videos, click the subscribe button and hit that bell. It really helps out a lot. Be careful out there, and I'll see you next week for episode 5.